Hey everybody, I just got the green light, which means we are good to go here. Thank you so much for joining us live on our streaming platforms. Of course, our app, YouTube, our social media profiles. Thank you so much for joining us here as we give you an update as to what's going on. We're seeing that switch over from rain to snow, and I'm meteorologist Jeremy Lewan. I'll be giving you all the latest as we see this coastal low develop off of Long Island and kind of funnel in moisture and maybe some significant accumulations for those of you up in Wayne and Pike counties. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you the full screen graphics. We have a winter storm warning in effect for many of our counties across the area. That includes Potter and Tioga all the way out to Wayne County, down through Pike, and even into the southern tier. Now, Columbia County also in that winter storm warning. The rest of us all in that winter weather advisory. And basically this from the National Weather Service means that we're going to see appreciable snowfall, and it's going to be our first snowflakes of the season. And this is exciting because we haven't seen snow yet this season. As a matter of fact, this is the first time we've really seen temperatures as a high this chilly this time of year. Normally we're in the mid 40s, upper 40s as high temperatures, and today we only topped out at 40 degrees in Scranton. So it's been a quite chilly November day, gray day. And yes, the snowflakes are great flying around. It's getting us in that holiday season, but you also have to take caution when you're driving. Those reduced visibility as well as the slick roads can cause accidents. I firsthand know, I saw on my way up from New Jersey today several accidents along 380 and also down through 80 going from the Poconos up towards Gouldsboro. And our digital content producer driving from Allentown noticed that there was a definite accident there on 81 coming up to Scranton. So we're noticing accidents across a lot of the region. You have to be careful, take things a little bit slower as a result of the reduced visibility and slick roads. This is our weather impact. It's in effect from 9 p.m. until 9 a.m. Of course, we're coming on the air to give you an update in between the 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. news. So we're going into this weather impact in the next 30 minutes as these snowfall totals start to happen. We got snow and every once in a while a breeze, and you'll need to take caution as a result of these slick roads. I want to show you some photos that have come in from our viewers so far. This one came in from Chad in Moscow. This is what a lot of you are noticing, some accumulation. Coatings on the grassy surfaces, not so much on those black tops as we've had temperatures above 50 degrees as high temperatures for the past pretty much 7 days. We haven't seen a temperature below the freezing mark here in Scranton for over a week. So a lot of those surfaces still holding on to that heat and energy, and those snowflakes are melting on contact. But some surfaces cold enough, below 32, like the grass and some of the brush that's been so dry over the past few weeks and months as a result of the drought. And this one a little bit closer to now. This one came in from Mike in Gouldsboro, noticing even more accumulations there in Wayne County. That's where I think the bullseye of the snowfall is going to be for us in Wayne County, and even further outside of our region, there'll be even more snowfall, kind of enhanced by the mountainous terrain of the Catskills in the Hudson Valley. There's a live look right now at Williamsport. You'll notice those wet roads, but no accumulations, not even on the grassy surfaces. It's just still too warm out in the Susquehanna Valley. This is the live view from our rooftop camera, noticing a little bit more cloud cover, and earlier you were able to see those big fat flakes flying around in our backyard. It was a beautiful sight. Current temperature right now, 32 on the dot. So temperatures now falling to the level at which they need to be in order for those accumulations to start. Winds coming into the southwest at 3 miles per hour. Notice those temperatures below the freezing mark for Storuca. Also for Mansfield, we'll see those accumulations begin there for Wayne County, even out through parts of the northern tier, Susquehanna, Bradford, Tioga, Potter counties. Even down into Scranton, 32 degrees. Thornhurst sitting at 32. So that fish hook, Kurt always talks about it, those higher elevations up through the northern tier down into the Poconos, that's where we'll see the highest totals, and bullseyed up in Wayne County, where we're expecting anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of accumulations as those snow bands continue to stream into the region through the overnight. Rainfall totals? Yeah. Believe it or not, we almost had an inch. It's about time, right? It's been a really long time since we've seen an inch of rainfall. Closing in on it now, just 0.04 of an inch of rain away from making it an official inch for the entire day here for Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport. And the last time that happened was on August 9th. It's been over 3 months since we've seen an inch of rain, and that happened from Tropical Storm Debbie when we picked up over 2 inches of rain. Since then, we have not seen an inch of rain out of one system, and boy, do we need it. We're in a 7-inch deficit as far as our drought, so any rainfall is welcome. Not so much out in central Pennsylvania. The rain bands have been pretty light, so just a few hundredths of an inch for Williamsport and Selinsgrove, closing in on a ½ inch for Hazleton, just over 6/10 in Allentown. Here's the current satellite and radar. Notice those heavier bands of snow now streaming into parts of Pike County, Wayne County too, even into Susquehanna County. And I'm going to give you a closer look there at the Valley Cities because something really interesting has happened. Take a look from Scranton down towards Springbrook. That switch over from rain to snow, from green to blue. As those temperatures drop to that 32-degree mark, now the entire column of air in the atmosphere cold enough to support that snow, and it's falling all the way to the surface. Whether or not it's accumulating in the Valley Cities, that's a different story, but at least it's falling pretty much everywhere from German down through Scranton, even into Wilkes-Barre. Looks like there's still a little bit of rainfall happening there, but the switchover will happen there soon too. But you'll notice for the past 2 or 3 hours, significant snowfall now for Forest City, Honesdale, Pleasant Mount, Storuca. All of you have been seeing sustained snowfall. Whether or not that's actually accumulating on roadways, probably not, but it is accumulating on those cooler surfaces like grass and brush and trees. So here's the bigger picture. Across the United States, there are 3 big low-pressure systems. The first of which I'm going to point out on the west coast, that's bringing an atmospheric river. It's a bomb cyclone, a really strong low-pressure system, bringing lots and lots of moisture to the Pacific coast. So places like Oregon, over 2 feet of rain expected in places there. In the Olympics and the Cascades, over 2 feet of snow are expected over there. Here we're dealing with this upper low pressure system. It's in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That's over the Great Lakes. But notice the smaller low just off the coast of Long Island. That is starting to take shape, and it's going to take over. All the energy from the upper level low is going to be transferred to the coastal low, and that's going to intensify and sweep in and give us some moisture from the almost coastal regions and swing it into our region as we go through the overnight tonight. So here's how I see that happening. Notice the coastal low over the Great Lakes merging and fusing with that low off the coast, the upper level low merging and fusing with the coastal low off of Long Island. That intensifies and swings back that moisture, including snowfall, through the overnight tonight. Of course, that's the coldest time of night too, right before sunrise. So temperatures for pretty much everybody are going to be below the freezing mark, and that'll allow for the snowfall totals to accumulate. Then, once we go through the day on your Friday, the rain's starting to creep back in, especially into those places that rise above the freezing mark and decreasing our snow totals. Then the low pressure kind of sits and spins through our Friday and even into Saturday before making its way up into New England, maybe funneling in some lake effect showers, sprinkles, and flurries for your Saturday morning if you're going to the Santa Parade. So I want to show you that on a closer scale. Notice how the rainfall, the greens, get phased out through the overnight tonight, and the blue takes over. This is 6 a.m., some of the coldest times of your evening, right before sunrise. Sunrise tomorrow is at 7 on the dot. Look at how everybody will be seeing snowflakes. Probably not too much accumulations out in central Pennsylvania because it took so long for it to switch over to snow there. Maybe some coatings on your grassy surfaces. Places like Wayne County, Susquehanna County, you've been seeing that snow now for 6, 7, 8 prolonged hours. That'll help to cool things down and allow for accumulations in our northern tier and northeastern corner of Wayne County. Even the Valley Cities getting in on some of that accumulations. I'm expecting anywhere from a coating to maybe 2 inches in some of those locations. And the Poconos, those are some regions that it's cold enough too. Now here's the interesting thing on reverse. The green's starting to creep into the blue there in the Susquehanna Valley as temperatures start to rise. That'll get rid of the coatings that you noticed from the very early morning hours, washing it away. Then the green spreads up into the Valley Cities, up into parts of even Bradford County too. It's just not high enough in elevation. The highest elevations are going to see the most amount of snowfall. That's up above 1,500 feet. But still, snow happening for Pike County, down through the Poconos, even into Wayne County. Honesdale hasn't seen a switch over to rain just yet at all. Going into the rest of the evening, the snow bands start to lessen up and also peter out. By 9 o'clock, it's just a scattered snow flurry, and we're pretty much wrapped up with the bulk of the snow and the rain. So as far as accumulations of rain, we're going to get an appreciable amount, even an inch possible in parts of the Valley cities, even up into Wayne and Pike counties, an inch possible for places like Lopez. And for central Pennsylvania, not quite as much, but you're not in as much of a drought as we are here in northeastern Pennsylvania. So the rain is actually over the places that we really need it to help get rid of some of the drought. Now, these are different models. I love showing the models to show you what the computers are analyzing this data as. The NAM model indicating 8 inches of snow in Scranton, but it's also not factoring in the fact that the pavement isn't cold enough to support 8 inches of snow. So maybe 8 inches falls out of the cloud, but it won't actually accumulate to 8 inches on the ground. And it's also not accounting for all the mixing of rain and sleet that we'll see as it transitions from snow to rain tomorrow morning into the afternoon. I do think this is an overpronounced model. Same with the graph model. Probably overpronounced, but a little bit less in the way of accumulations for Scranton. That's a little bit more on par, but it's been adamant about a bullseye of snow in Hazleton, and that makes sense. Hazleton is Pennsylvania's tallest city, so we'll see accumulations a little bit higher in Hazleton. I just don't think it's going to be nearing in on that foot mark. One thing the models are certain about is the accumulations in central Pennsylvania. Not likely going to be much at all. I'm expecting a coating European model showing about an inch. Tobyhanna, model spitting out over a half foot of snow. I don't think that's going to happen either. Still got to get those surfaces down to 32, maybe 4 to 5 inches of snow. So we're expecting something, this is our WNEP map along the lines of this. A coating to 2 inches if it doesn't get washed away by rain first in central Pennsylvania. Anywhere from Potter and Tioga counties south towards Columbia County, including the Valley cities, into Schuylkill County, 1 to 3 inches of snow. From Susquehanna County down through the Poconos, out through Pike County, 2 to 5 inches of snow. I think most of the accumulations will be on the lower ends of this range. The real bullseye of snowfall will be in our northeasternmost corner. That's Wayne, even northern Pike, and eastern Susquehanna County. Also parts of northern, far northern Lackawanna County will get on that 4 to 8 inches, but you'll notice the most of that snowfall will be in the Catskills. When we talk about accumulations, that's where we'll notice the real bullseye in the entire overarching region in the Catskills. Here in our region, northeastern Pennsylvania, you'll see the most Wayne County. Do want to give you a closer look at all of the details and statistics over the past 6 years. First time we had our first inch of snowfall in the backyard, ranged anywhere from November 12th back in 2019 all the way through December 9th in 2020. So we're right in the middle pretty much of that first inch of snow. And that first inch of snow means a lot for those of us here at WNEP because we give away our snow thrower and snow blower. Of course, the snow thrower and snow blower contest still on. And if we do in fact pick up that inch of snow in our backyard, if any of you had guessed that we'll pick up an inch of snow on November 22nd in the morning, well, then I guess you're going to be the winner. So we're going to be keeping a close eye. It's going to be close whether or not we do actually cool down enough to sustain an accumulation of an actual inch of snowfall in our backyard. And we'll keep you updated to the minute as those snowfall readings come in. This is the 7-day forecast. We have the weather impact alert for your first half of Friday as those accumulations continue through the morning. Cool through the weekend and breezy too. If you're going to the Santa Parade, could be a few flurries around. Make sure you bundle up. And once we get towards next week, temperatures back up in the 50s. Anything that does fall in our northern tier, not really going to stick around as temperatures just aren't going to be around that freezing mark for a prolonged period of time. We have that weather impact alert in effect from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. tomorrow. If you're driving tonight or driving tomorrow morning, take it slower on the roads. Just too many accidents that I passed on the way here. I don't want you to become one of them. So just take it slower. The roads are slick. The mix of freezing and liquid and freezing precipitation with the snow falling and the rain falling, it's very dangerous. And of course, the visibility is reduced too with those low-hanging clouds. Take things slower, and I hope you can get a chance to enjoy the snow if you don't have work tomorrow. All right, I hope you have a great rest of your night. We'll keep you updated on Newswatch 16 at 10. I'm meteorologist Jeremy Lewan.